Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to solve the problem on intersection of two sorted arrays. In the last video we solved the problem of union of two sorted arrays. In this problem we are going to solve intersection of two arrays. So in an intersection of two arrays, what we are going to do is we are going to add the common elements which are common in both the arrays. We will add that element into the another array and return it as the output. Okay, so first let's look at the brute force solution. In the brute force, what we will do is we will first loop through both the arrays. First let's see the question. So we will take this as a question, which is, so I will take these arrays as questions 1 2 4 5 6 and 2 3 5 7. I'll just copy this. Okay, so these are our two arrays 1 2 4 5 6, and the second array elements are 2 3 5 7. So what we are going to do and our final resultant array will be what 2 5. Why? Because 2 exists in both arrays and 5 also exists in both arrays. And if you look, 1 exists only in array 1, 4 exists in only 1, and 6 exists only in array 1, whereas here 3 exist only in array second and 7 exist only in array second array, right? So what we are going to do here is first we will loop through both the arrays using for loop, and then we'll check the elements of both the arrays. And whenever the elements of both the arrays are equal, we will just add it to the resultant array and then return the final array. Okay, so let's first define the variables as m of array 1 dot length and n as array 2 dot length, and we will also initialize the result array. And what will be the size of the result array? In the previous problem we take the in the union problem we took the length as the m plus n, because we have to join. So if the array, if both the arrays does not have the element of both the arrays, you, so in case of union we had to combine both the arrays, so that is why we took the size as m plus n. Here we can take the size as math mean of m and n, because we have to return the common elements. So whichever the smaller, there is a possibility of smaller array so we can take this element as so here we can take the size of the resultant array as a minimum of m and n, because here we can only have, we can in the best possible scenario we can have the resultant array equal to 4. Why? Because these elements can these elements can be here as well, but these elements the 4 elements can be the size of array 2 is 4 and the size of array 1 is 5. So it is possible to have array 1 4 elements, but it is not possible for array 2 to have the 5 elements. That is why we need to take the minimum size among these two arrays as the final as the size of the resultant array. And here we will again use the index pointer to put the elements into the resultant array. Then we will start the for loops. In the first for loop we will loop through the array 1, and in the second for loop we will loop through the second array, and we will compare. If arr of, compare both the elements, if arr of 1 of I is equal to arr of 2 of j, then we will place that element into the resultant array. Result array of index will become arr of 1, you can place any value arr 1 of I or arr 2 of j, and then we will move the pointer index by 1, right? Now finally return result array. Why is it giving me an error? Okay, so here I mentioned only int type. Let's run. Okay, so I am getting this error which is Java index out of bound. Why? Oh, okay. So I did not break this loop here. Am I getting the error? Oh, sorry. Here here the loop condition will be j less than n. So now we got the two elements as 2 and 5 which are common among both the arrays, but we don't want these zeros. This is returning zeros as well. So what we will do, we will return the copy of array dot copy of result array, and new length will be index because the intersection array contains only two values. Now we got the arrays. Now let's put the duplicate elements also here. So what if the array also has the duplicate elements? In that case, what we should do? In this case we are getting the duplicate as well, but in interview the interviewer may ask that he did not he want the result without duplicate. So what we can do here is we can just add the if condition here. So and in the problem it is mentioned that these arrays are sorted arrays. So the identical elements identical elements like 2 and 2 will be will be adjacent to each other. So in this case what we can do here is we can just add a if condition. If I is greater than 0 and arr of 1 of I is equal to arr of 1 of I minus 1. So in the at the zeroth index we need not we don't need to check for this duplicate. We can start checking for duplicates from the first index. So if 0 is greater than if I is greater than 0 means our index our pointer is at first position. So we can compare 1 and 0th element. So array 1 of one array 1 element at 1 array 1 element at first index is equal to 0th index or not. If it is, then what we can do is we can just continue. We will not do any operation, we will just move the pointer ahead. Similarly we can add this condition for array 2. We can just change the pointer. That's it. Now run. Now we got the answer without any duplicates, and the time complexity for this problem will be m into n because we are having two for loops. So the time complexity will be m into n because of these nested loops, and the space complexity is minimum of n, minimum of m or n, whichever is minimum, right? Now let's see the let's solve. Now let's see the optimal solution. So in optimal solution what we can do is we can use the hash set in the, So in the optimal solution we can make use of hash set, as it will eliminate the problem of dealing with duplicates, and also the time complexity will be reduced, drastically reduced. So let's see first on the paper what we are going to do by using hash set. So in by using hash set, what we are going to do is, first we will store all the array 1 elements into the temporary set. So in this problem we are going to use two sets. One set is to store the elements of array 1, and then the second set will be our resultant set, which will have the intersection element, which will have the common elements of both array 1 and array 2. And then we will play and then we will place matching elements into the result set, right? And then we will transfer the result set elements into the resultant array and then return it. Okay, so let's first initialize the hash set. As first, this is our temporary set to store the elements of array 1. This will be our result set. So this will have the common it will be used to store the common elements of both arrays. So what we are going to do first is, we can run the for each. We will first put all the elements of array 1 into set. Add array 1 elements into set, right? In the second step, what we are going to do is, we are going to check, compare array 2 elements with the set elements. So if set dot contains num, so if set if so what we will do, we will check every element with the set element. So whenever we encounter the element which are same as the array 2 element, we will add it to the result set. Result set, we will just add it to the set. And then here what we will do, we will transfer the elements of the resultant set to the resultant array and then return it. So here what we will do, we will initialize the result array as new int of, and here what we can take, we can take the size of result set as the size of our resultant array, and here we will use the index pointer to put the elements into the resultant array. So for every element in resultant array, what we'll do, we'll just put the resultant array of as num and move the pointer, and then finally we will just directly return the resultant array. We are getting the value of 0 comma 0 y. Okay, so I by mistake I used here resultant array. It should be result set. Mhm. We got the value, right? So this was, and the time complexity for this will be, . O of m plus n, and the space complexity will be minimum of O of min of m comma n, right? So this was so this was intersection of two sorted arrays. See you in the next video.